So over 40 years ago, I was introduced to fly fishing. I had an uncle that took me out to some of the small northwest streams, and it continued until now. Over 40 years later, here I am still fly fishing. I did quite a bit of guiding, both on large bodies of water, both still water and rivers. You know, this is something that is not only a hobby, something I enjoy, but it's a passion. It's something that drives me, and I think about it on a regular basis. You know, how are we going to improve, our fishing experience? You know, these opportunities, it gave me a lot of experience on seeing what works and what doesn't. There is a lot of frustration in the market about floatants. Some people say, why call it a floatant? It doesn't float. The stuff doesn't float. And I was one of those people, until I came across, this formula. I kind of figured I was good at chemistry in school. Why don't I go ahead and try it again and come up with a floatant that I can use personally? And so a few years back, I sat down, had a little time on my hands, and went to the workshop, which is where we are today. And I started mixing some formulas, playing around with some things. I came up with a formula, sat on it for about a year, fished it every time I could get out. And I realized how strong it was and how wonderful it was. And struggling with the name, I came up with the name of Goat Float. The reason we're calling it that, it is the strongest, most tenacious floatant I've ever used. When I was trying to come up with a name, I thought of the mountain goats and how they live in tough terrains and tough circumstances. We highly encourage you, give it a shot. Take your family out, use Goat Float, and see how it performs. Give us the feedback. We want your feedback. Goat Float is available on Amazon, also on goatfloatflyfishing.com and many of your large sporting goods dealers. Go to goatfloatflyfishing.com and sign up for our email newsletter and watch for the upcoming promotions.